Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm here with the legend, Jared McNally. For those of you guys that don't know him, he runs a 7-figure agency. He also has a software, and most people don't know this, but he's gonna become a professional snowboarder one day. I'm sure he can tell you all about it.
One day.
I know that's the goal. I actually want to definitely ask you a little bit about that. But Jared, tell us your story. I know that when you first joined Agency Lab, it was really a leap of faith. I'd love to hear your story and just share as much as you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually when I joined Agency Lab, I came into this in a pretty unique way. I was actually a business analyst for a medium-sized fitness company, and I started digging into their data as a business analyst would. Started to realize that a lot of their issues were in their marketing, right? And they had an agency that they had hired out. So I started to kind of learn what that agency was doing. Found that I could probably make a lot of money myself doing marketing. So after I got into the data a little bit, I decided to run my first set of paid ads. And I figured if I could get a client running paid ads, then I deserve to have a client, right? Pretty shortly after I did that, I picked up 1 or 2 clients, and I got hit with one of your ads for a 7-figure agency, now Agency Lab. At that time, I had almost nothing. Honestly, I lived in a basement of a house in Colorado with my girlfriend. We couldn't afford a whole house to ourselves, so we actually rented a house, had 3 roommates that lived upstairs. We lived in the basement.
Wow.
It was moldy, it was shitty. We had, honestly, no money. It was a pretty tough time in life. And I got on a call with Sergio, sales call, learned a little bit about 7-figure agency, and ended up, seeing that there was a lot of potential, right? I had never actually been sold. That was my first sales call that I had ever been on. I'd never even experienced one.
Was it scary, or?
I don't think it was scary talking to the team. Of course, at that time, Sergio was kind of leading the way, or at least he got on my call. And basically I told him hey man, I really don't have the money to do this, but when my girlfriend gets home from work, I'm gonna talk to her, make sure that that we can try to do this, or at least do my best to convince her to do it. And ended up calling my girlfriend right after I got off the phone with Sergio. She was still at work, and dude, I broke down crying. Honestly, I broke down crying to her, and I said, I think that I found the thing that's going to change our lives, and I really need to use pretty much every penny that we had. We had less than $4,000, and my first payment was $3,500 to join the program. And so she let me do it, and I worked my ass off, honestly, for the first couple of weeks, and things just started to unfold, right? The first client came, the second client came, third, fourth client, and before I knew it, I had 8 clients. I was bringing in probably 12 grand a month after probably 6 weeks, and man, it just honestly the most life-changing experience I've ever been through. And I don't think we've even really had the chance to talk about that one-on-one, Joel, but it's really amazing what you've done here, and bringing me into this changed everything for me and my family.
It means the world to me, man. I feel like yesterday I actually heard your story for the first time, and I was like, we need to share it, because I think a lot of people are afraid to take that leap of faith and are afraid to go all in. And I know that when you invest most of your money, with us, you're putting your trust in us, and that's a huge responsibility. I do not take that lightly, and it just makes me so happy that you went out and made things happen and really changed your life. Yeah, we were able to provide the support, the coaching, the resources, the knowledge, the accountability, but it's ultimately came down to you. And I know sometimes people take the leap of faith and it doesn't work out exactly how they plan, but the fact that we did give you that opportunity and it happened, that's incredible, man.
Yeah, and I think honestly, one of the biggest things I've learned as an entrepreneur over the last couple of years, since all of this kind of started to unfold, is that you really have to take advantage of those opportunities when they come, because otherwise it's just a wasted opportunity if you let it slip away, right? So it's been an amazing opportunity. I have no idea where I'd be at without it, and I certainly know that I wouldn't be where I'm at today, right, with multiple 7-figure businesses running. But yeah, it's been absolutely amazing.
So you went from living in a basement with your girlfriend down to $500 in your bank account when you took the leap, and then within, you said
2 weeks I had 2 clients.
2 weeks, 2 clients, and then you said
$6,500 a month I was bringing in revenue.
Wow, and then how long did it take you to get to 10K a month?
10K, it was a couple more weeks actually. I think I was at 12K in about
days?
6 weeks. 90 days, I think it was around 20K.
Oh wow.
And then on top of it, I started doing all the list scraping, right? So I had that side income as well, which was I was just pumping that back into the agency, into ads, and into getting more appointments and selling more.
And then now, where are you at today? What kind of revenue numbers are you doing?
Yeah,
how long has it been? Because it does take time. I know to get 10K a month, it can happen pretty quickly. 20K a month, it can happen pretty quickly. But I know also 100K a month, there's a little bit more complexity.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we broke 100K after about 2 years. Right now we're floating usually above 150 in the agency. And of course, I've got a couple other projects on the side that are bringing revenue as well.
That's freaking amazing. Like, I know that your goal is not just to make money. Like, tell us what you're passionate about. Like, why did you even want to take that leap of faith? Like, what was it for you that made you want to do that?
Yeah, so a little bit more story. I had actually left my career, much like you, right? You were a software engineer, is that right?
I worked for an education technology company, so maybe that's where I got a little confused, but I did marketing and sales for them.
Okay, that's on me. But yeah, I actually left my career here in Florida. I left my career in, was it 2018? Beginning of 2018, I was an environmental scientist, and I was actually just searching for happiness. What was going on was I was spending all of my money, which I didn't make very much as an environmental scientist. I was spending all my money to just travel and surf around the world. So each time I got a paycheck, I'd buy a plane ticket, I'd go surfing for a couple days, I'd come back, wait for the next paycheck, go surfing again. And really I was just chasing happiness. So at one point I just quit my career. I left everything here in Florida. I drove to California to snowboard and then headed down to Central America for a year. I lived in a van and I just surfed for a year. So I've always kind of been just chasing being happy, and surfing, snowboarding, that's the stuff that like really at my core makes me a very happy person. So at this point, my focus is to see how far I can take snowboarding, whether that means becoming a pro or riding with the pros. That's what I'm putting all my time and energy into outside of, what I have to do to keep making money. But yeah, my agency is really just a vehicle to get me to that happiness, right? To be able to chase the things that truly make me happy, which at this point in my life is snowboarding. Maybe in 5 years that'll change, and that's okay, right? Plans can be changed and adapted. But yeah, man, really just
so
chasing.
So for you,
snow.
the money is like the driving, the thing that opens up the opportunity for you to do what makes you happy.
Absolutely, yeah. Like at this point, I actually only work half days. My entire morning is blocked out for snowboarding. I snowboard every single day. Of course, I still work. I still put in a lot of energy. You can't own several businesses and not, right? I know that, you know that. But yeah, it's the vehicle that's just driving the rest of the opportunities. And the agency isn't necessarily my passion, but it is a great cash cow to fuel all my other passions, right? Whether that's snowboarding or software development. There's a couple of softwares that I've been developing and working on for the last couple of years, and it's really just fueled my opportunities and fueled how much I'm able to take in and take on.
Wow, from literally $500 left in the bank account, living in a basement, to multiple seven-figure businesses, and being able to snowboard whenever you want. And then potentially one day becoming a pro.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story, man, and I'm sure that anyone watching this, like, if you're not inspired by that, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's pretty incredible, and you're living proof that it's possible, that sometimes taking the leap of faith like gets you to the other side. What would you say to someone that is on the fence, that is down to the last few dollars? They don't know if they want to take that leap of faith. Maybe they're scared to hop on a call with us.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is that it is possible, right? If you set your mind to something, you can do it. It may take a ton of work. I think there have been countless nights where I didn't sleep because I was just grinding away and trying to get things done. The daily grind of building a business isn't an easy thing, but it is doable by anyone that really has the right mind to do it, right? Or the right motivation to do it. I would say also just look at those bigger picture goals, right? Everyone sees the top line, I want to make X amount of dollars, but most people don't even know what that's going to equate to for them. So I think having a bigger picture goal of what you're actually aiming toward will, number one, help you to keep the motivation, but number two, give you a stopping point, right? Because once we start receiving things and obtaining things, we're kind of on our conquest. We can get stuck in that mindset and just keep going forever, right? Some people want to have $1 billion. I don't think I need $1 billion. I don't know what I would do with it. I know exactly how much money I need to do the things I want in life. Yeah, exactly. And so that's my stopping point.
So have very clear vision for yourself, have clear, bigger goals, and then taking the leap feels less scary.
It feels a whole lot less scary, and even the daily grind and the tough struggles, hurdles, challenges that come up on a daily basis, those are a lot easier to push through when you have that bigger goal that you're working toward. For me, like, I can, have a bad call with a client that's not super fun, they're angry or whatever it may be, and it's totally okay because I know that I get to go snowboarding tomorrow because of all the stuff that I do today, right? I know that in 5 years I'll be able to do that same thing.
That's awesome, man. Like, for anyone that's watching this and you're on the fence of potentially hopping on a call or joining Agency Lab, what would you say to those people?
I would say, if you think that you have it in you to be something a little different than what society paints everyone else to be, I would say take the leap. Even if you don't have a lot of money, if you can put in the energy, if you can put in the time, you can make a life that you only have dreamed about, or maybe have not even dreamed about. You know, I'm in a place now where I never expected to be bringing in the money that I'm making, or have the opportunities that I have, meeting the people that I'm able to meet and network with at this point.
That's amazing, man. I think that's pretty much it. One last question for you, like what would be your biggest piece of advice or like words of wisdom from everything that you've learned on this journey?
Yeah, seize opportunities when they come up, right? You're never gonna win if you don't take the opportunity to win, or at least give yourself a chance at that opportunity. So seize those opportunities as they come up.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Cool.
Appreciate you.